Alright, hello everybody. We're going to do another breakdown video here. This is one of my students, Nathan. On the left, he has sent us his video in. This is a white belt tournament. He's a blue belt now, so this is an older one at the New York Open. So we'll get to the match here. I'm going to give you guys some ideas and different ways that he could... Actually, I've never watched this match, so I think it'll be good for us to both watch it for the first time together and see what we can add to it. Help out Nathan's game, maybe even help out his opponent's game if some things come up. So they make the grip. So you can see that grip there, that kind of, when he has two hands on the collar, most times you're going to pull half guard from that position. So I don't know if he's going close guard or half guard. Looks like he's going close guard. So that makes it a tough pull. Now you see what his opponent did right there is, since he had both hands in the collar, he was able to already have this hand in the collar and try to set up the cross choke. But Nathan was wise to it here and ends up blocking the second hand a little bit. Guy switches off to a scissor sweep. We'll wait till these guys get out of the way here. Cameraman needs a little help. Alright, there we go. Okay, so this is a dangerous situation. When you find yourself standing up, it's very important that you don't have your body bent at 90 degrees. Okay, it's going to make it pretty much impossible to open the legs, and also it's going to open you up to arm locks and different sweeps and really weaken your position. But the problem is many times that feels right. It feels safer. It feels safer than standing up straight. So standing up straight sometimes feels more dangerous, but it's kind of counterintuitive. It's more productive to be able to stand up straight and open that guard up. So we'll see what happens from here. So you see he's kind of getting knocked around a little bit. Does a good job surviving here and getting back into position. And his opponent closes the guard up again. So the opponent opens it up. It's being active with it. Now, there's a little bit of a missed opportunity there. When the guard is open, what you want to do is you want to put one knee in the middle. So if you would take that right knee and he would kind of put this knee up in the middle between the legs, then his opponent's not going to be able to close the guard here. So you can see Nathan does a good job of stopping the sweep, but then the guy's like, oh, I'm just going to close my guard again. Bam, right there. So you're back on both knees. So anytime you're on both knees, you're vulnerable to getting the guard closed on you again. You're also vulnerable to triangles if the guy was a triangle person, or an arm lock. It just makes you in a weak position and not able to have any strength. So it's important to put one leg posted up in the middle so that you can posture up stronger and stand up ultimately. So general rule is anytime the guard is open, you either want to put one knee in the middle or you want to stand up. Never keep both knees on the floor. So now I can see why it's a little tough for Nathan to stand here is because his body's bent forward. So if you see here, see is that posture here. So this makes it super difficult, especially this guy has the hand in the collar, and it makes it very difficult to stand up. So it's going to be hard for him to stand up straight, whether he's just standing up on his own. In this case, you'd have to probably pick the guy up with him, but it becomes very difficult unless you can establish that posture. So he did pretty good there, actually. So he put the hands in the collar, he grabbed the left sleeve, and he was about to stand, but his opponent felt that, and he just opened the guard. Okay, so this is an awkward position. This bothers a lot of people. So you see here, this foot right here in the hip, combined with the held sleeve, and probably the collar, cross collar in here, right hand, and that collar. So it's tough because you can't use your left hand to knock that hand out of your, that foot leg out of your hip. So what you actually have to do is you have to step your left leg back. So Nathan would put his left leg back here. He would put his right leg forward, a little stronger, probably up here, right leg. And then he would use his right knee to kind of deflect that knee out. So his right knee would go inside and then kind of deflect. And then the whole time he's trying to build his posture. I think if he put that right leg forward, he'd be able to build that posture. So if he gets this foot instead of here, if he gets that about here, then he's going to be able to squat, his butt would drop, and then his head would raise up, and it would kind of lessen the opponent's ability to pull him forward and make him off balance, if that makes sense. So the opponent's doing a good job of stretching him out. So he has the other sleeve actually, so he's going for a bit of a sweep. And again, that was that opportunity that Nathan could not try not to settle for that closed guard. So as soon as the opponent pulls closed guard, he should stay off both knees. See how they both dropped? And then you got to do all that work again to get that guard open. So it's just a small little movement there, and we can make our opponent struggle much more to close that guard. So even right now, that right knee, if it goes up and in the middle, boom, it's going to be tough to close it because his opponent's going to feel this and close it again. I'll imagine. There you go. So it's all about that posture, really. That's the only thing that's creating difficulty for Nathan here is he's getting his head down, he's getting tilted, but he's doing a great job of keeping his balance, staying on top, not getting triangled, not getting arm locked. It's just that 90-degree posture. It's kind of awkward here. The opponent's got a closed guard, but he's got his foot. Sometimes you just got to wait it out a little bit. Opponent might be going for a bit of an omoplata, trying to get on top. Trying to switch up to X guard. Nathan's showing a good base on top. This is actually, can't see where the other foot is. Okay, so it became a bit of a one-legged X. It's hard to see in the angle here. The camera's a little far too. Let me just back it up a bit more. Okay, so I think in this position, so what this makes this a one-legged X position here is you see his left leg, his opponent's left leg is under and around the leg. It's hard to tell because they both have black keys on. And then the other leg's out here. So what Nathan would look to do, and I think he actually had a pretty good chance to do this here, is he controls this leg later, and then if he could push this off with his right hand, then he could backstep his left leg over and pass the guard to this side. But now we're getting into some, a little bit more advanced stuff for white belts, but this guy seems to like this position, so it's important to know. Let's keep it going. So you'll see, I'll just talk through it. So right there, if he pushes the other foot out with his right hand and then backsteps to the right. And then the guy switches to an X, gives a little bit of a clip there and trips him over and gets a sweep. So Nathan's turn on the bottom. Down by 2 points. Okay, that was tricky there. So so Nathan's actually not in closed guard here. So he didn't even really get this chance to establish it. He's trying to close the guard up and the guy passes. So what he did, which many people do, is he wants the guard back. So normally he would get this leg around, but he couldn't because his leg was caught in a weird position. So he hooked it with this leg. You see? Let's see here. Back that up a touch. So you have to be very careful. Let's see. We'll fast forward. So see how the left leg hooks the leg. It's like almost like I just want to get it with anything, but this actually could end up with you in the mount, and that might happen here. There you go, mount position. Nathan doing a good job of trying to hook the foot to avoid the points. Gets it almost. Not quick enough to stop the 4 points. But he's got the right idea there. He's hooking the foot. He's trying to drag in. He's turning on his side, keeping his elbows in. His opponent's trying to walk the elbows up to a potential arm triangle or arm lock, or at least a higher mount position. Look for Nathan to turn on his side and try to hook that leg again. It almost worked. I think he can make that work. So he turns on his side. He's hooking the leg. Good. Very good. See, he's back to half guard. Pretty easy there, too. I don't know what the referee's doing. That's weird. He must have had a illegal grip. Probably he grabbed inside the pants. He got a penalty. So when he was stuffing the leg, his fingers were in the end of the gi, probably, I would imagine. So he had to unfortunately restart here, so we'll see. I think he can get that escape again, though, if he goes back to it. Opponent's being a bit more aggressive now. Okay, he's got the half guard, kind of quarter guard. He's got to turn back to face his opponent now. If you're on your side like that, the opponent almost can get your back again. So he's got to start turning hard to the right, and face him. We'll see if he can get back in a position. The opponent's reaching around his head and trapping his wrist. He might fall back to the right and try to get the hooks. Nathan rolls over, so that's a tricky position here now because you got to watch that hook, that top hook, and the collar. Grip here. Nathan doing a good job avoiding the points. Now the arm's hooked though. Going for a bit of a bow and arrow type choke. Good job. Pops his head out. Nice. Now he's in half guard. So he just gets in I don't know. The other attacker got an advantage for almost choking, I believe. So he's in half guard. Let's see if he can pass. This is a good position here because now you can pass. If you can get mount, which he's doing right now, he can actually get 7 points all at once. So you get 3 for passing the guard, 4 for mount. We'll see. Let's hold it. Make sure you hold the points. Hold the position. Got it. 7 points. Nice. Oh, that was a good match. I think in the end, Nathan probably came up short by 2 points. My calculations. The other opponent got 2 points for the sweep, 3 for a guard pass, 4 for mount. Gives him 9 points. And Nathan had the 7 points all in one action there at the end. So you can see he really turned it around at the end. I think that was his fight after that point, if it went longer. But a couple small adjustments in the beginning, he would be able to get to that half guard initially and be able to pass that guard and get those points and dominate from there. He just had a little bit of a hard time opening the guard, and I think mainly it was due to that 90-degree posture and not being able to stand up properly. I know he wanted to stand up, you could tell, but not being able to stand up and open that guard properly. And then anytime the guy kind of failed to sweep is allowing him to close that guard back down. Then you got to do all that work again. So I think a few adjustments. If he gets his head up first a little higher before he tries to stand, try to break the grip so he can get out. Also, when the guard is open, as soon as the guard is open, you either want to stand up or you want to put your right knee in the middle. And you can even squat down there. As long as there's something in the middle, they're not going to be able to reclose it again. And then again, I think that one-legged X, we talked about that position, is kind of having an understanding when you get caught in there how to kind of backstep out of there. So pushing the leg out of your hip and backstepping. So just one technical move, and that would have prevented the sweep. And I think if the cameraman gets a little more zoomed in, we'll get a better look and just stops looking at the... No, I'm just joking. But overall, it was a good match, and I look forward to checking out more of Nathan's matches and more of my students' matches and breaking them down for you. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I found a few tips helpful, and I'll catch you soon.